So, in this episode of the podcast, we're going to talk about thinking outside the box like a Navy SEAL. Hey, you're going to not want to miss this one. Stay tuned.
You are listening to The Leadersmith, Darren Curtis.
Okay, so for a number of years, I think it was since about 1995 when I first read Bravo 20 about the British Special Forces in Desert Storm. I've read just about every book that crossed my path about special forces, Navy SEALs, that kind of thing, just because I find their mentality so interesting. I'm thinking of books like Fearless about Adam Brown, Lone Survivor, No Easy Day, American Sniper, Extreme Ownership, and I came across a book called The Operator. This was a book by the guy that killed Osama bin Laden. His name is Rob O'Neill, and Rob O'Neill is telling his memoir, and he's working his way, as most of these do. They all go through their process of being made. I mean, the buds process and other training. So he's talking about buds. If you don't know what buds is, it's like SEAL. It's like boot camp for SEALs, but it's not boot camp. It's like 100 times harder, and the SEALs all have to go through this excruciating process. Okay, so he's talking about an inspection at one of these points. And I read this passage and I thought there is a lesson here. Okay, so I'll give you an overview of what happened and then we'll go into the lesson. So he's talking about an inspection. He says that he had an inspection, PT at 5 o'clock as usual. Inspection was at 7:30, so they had some time to go back and put on their inspection uniform. This is a different uniform than their normal uniform. It's very crisp, spit shined, all that kind of thing. So they made sure that their bunks were ready. The room was spotless. They had gotten everything, so you couldn't find a speck of dirt anywhere. Okay, so the room's ready for inspection. They can see the reflection in the floor, in their boots, and their lockers are open. Then the instructors come in. Now they're on the third or fourth floor. They can hear the instructors going through the first floor, the second floor, and the third floor, so they know what's coming, right? They know, they can hear the instructors barking at other people. They can hear them sending them out to do push-ups and go out and get wet in the ocean and whatever torture they're going to be doing. So they think, like, if everything goes well, the instructor is going to come in, they'll inspect the lockers while noticing that everything is in alphabetical order, that our uniforms are in line. They'll see our vests, check our CO2 cartridges and actuator and the techno corrosion. They'll tell us that we were model students in the best buds class ever and that we were free to change out for the next evolution. No, that's not how it's going to work. So what actually does happen is they come in like a hurricane before he can even say, like, somebody's supposed to say room is so and so is ready for inspection. Before he can even get the word room out, the inspector just has them dropping, doing push-ups and yelling at him and screaming, whatever. Okay, this is part of the process. Okay, it says the line of instructors comes rolling in. One actually came in with a jar full of sand, threw it at the ceiling, and yelled, "How did sand get on the ceiling?" And then, of course, if sand's on the ceiling, it's on the immaculate floor, it's all over the beds, whatever. They spilt salt water on the equipment and then punished them for rust that hasn't happened yet. Okay, so they were beat for future rust. They're stepped on their boots and told them they were not shiny enough. All kinds of things. And then they're told to go hit the surf, that is, go lie down in the water in their inspection uniforms. And okay, so all of that was just part of a head game because they're teaching them. So now, O'Neill didn't say this in his book, but in Lone Survivor, one of the things that Marcus Luttrell wrote in there was he was talking about how, look, they're trying to teach us life is unfair and to help us understand not only that it is, but to endure that unfairness and not quit. And I thought, there's something pretty brilliant about that process. So SEALs are a different breed, right? So here's the SEAL ethos. It says the Navy SEAL Air and Land Teams, also known as Navy SEALs, are the U.S. Navy's Special Operations Force and are trained to operate in all environments for which they are named. In times of war or uncertainty, there is a special breed of warrior ready to answer our nation's call. Common citizens with an uncommon desire to succeed. Forged by adversity, they stand alongside America's finest special operations forces to serve their country, the American people, and protect their way of life. I am that warrior. My trident is a symbol of honor and heritage bestowed upon me by the heroes that have gone before. It embodies the trust of those I have sworn to protect. By wearing a trident, I accept the responsibility of my chosen profession and its way of life. It is a privilege that I must earn every day. My loyalty to my country and team is beyond reproach. I humbly serve as a guardian to my fellow Americans, always ready to defend those who are unable to defend themselves. I do not advertise the nature of my work, nor seek recognition for my actions. I voluntarily accept the inherent hazards of my profession, placing the welfare and security of others before my own. I serve with honor on and off the battlefield. The ability to control my emotions and my actions, regardless of circumstances, sets me apart from others. Uncompromising integrity is my standard. My character and my honor are steadfast. My word is my bond. We expect to lead and be led. In the absence of orders, I will take charge, lead my teammates, and accomplish the mission. I lead by example in all situations. Now, here's the part that I'm going for. The next words say, I will never quit. I persevere and I thrive on adversity. My nation expects me to be physically harder and mentally stronger than my enemies. If knocked down, I will get back up every time. I will draw on every remaining ounce of strength to protect my teammates and to accomplish our mission. I am never out of the fight. I will never quit. Okay, so of course, you're going to get this abuse in the inspection. It's never going to be fair, and it was geared that way. So O'Neill started thinking outside the box. He had this idea. He said what they did was they went to the store between then and the next inspection, and they purchased a whole bunch of contraband, cans of Copenhagen, Power Bars, Snickers, cookies, Gatorade. They hung pictures of girls in their lockers, and when the inspection started, they could hear the racket on the first floor, the second floor, the third floor, and so when the inspectors came to the room, they had Tupac playing on the stereo, and the pack of inspectors came into the room, and the first inspector, now they're SEALs as well. They are SEALs. They've been through all the same training. The first instructor stopped in his tracks. He heard the music and he was just stunned, like that shouldn't be what's going on. Another froze behind him, and they didn't say anything. And now O'Neill writes that he was scared to death. He was going, well, what's going to happen? Maybe we overshot here, and we're going to get in even worse trouble. But that's not what happened. The first instructor said, that's entirely too little volume for Tupac. And then told the first guy that he came across to dance, and told the others to start dancing. And they had never seen anything like it. And they just had a good, walked around inspecting things and couldn't believe that all this stuff was out there. Like one was running his finger across a windowsill and a Snickers bar fell on him. And so they recognized the genius in what they did in that inspection, and they passed inspection. I mean, they were told on the way out, congratulations, you passed inspection. And Rob O'Neill's takeaway was, don't be afraid to think outside the box. There is never a perfect plan. Impossibilities only exist until somebody does it. We thought this way, gave it a shot, and won. Mission success. All right, so that is what I want to communicate with you. Think outside the box. Think differently. Be willing to take chances. And with that comes the quotation for contemplation for today. It comes from Bob Iger, the former chairman of Walt Disney. He said, the riskiest thing we can do is just maintain the status quo. He's probably right. You're just trying to maintain the status quo in a changing world doesn't work very well. You've got to change with the new information that you now have so that you can meet the next big challenge. All right, that's it. That's all that I have. Thank you for your time, and I hope that helps you become the kind of leader that you would want to follow.